The Rain Man Show contains adult language and discussions. If you're easily offended, do not continue to listen.
From the Cave of Wonders and recorded live in the presence of gods, where heroes are forged and the weak perish, we welcome you to the Rain Man Show.
What's your name?
Rain Man. Rain Man. Rain Man. Rain Man.
Fuck you! That's my name!
Rain Man.
Set up, double-crossed, and left foot dead.
Fuck me? No. Fuck you.
Rain Man.
Framed for murder, now he prowls the Badlands, an outlaw hunting outlaws, a bounty hunter, a renegade.
Rain Man.
With the few who remain, the battle is the last. No one has ever known the ultimate freedom.
All right, this is the Rain Man Show. RainManWasHere.com on Rain Man Digital. The reason why we're doing Rain Man Digital, I don't know if you know this, Aisha, or not. In about 2 or 3 months, we are going back to the radio stream. Woo. So we'll still be doing recorded shows for the time being, but we'll have a 24-hour stream on continuous replay. So we will. That's why I'm still referring to this as a radio show. Although radio with on-demand features like the old days that we used to do.
We're like a nice interbred child.
Right. It's a hybrid show, if you will. Yeah, I think so. But anyways, today, big day. We have, it seems like it's a big day every day now. We're getting interviews. I don't know how, I've done like 5 interviews in the last 3 weeks, and I think I'm finally getting good at it. I'm a regular Jay Leno. Minus, I don't ask the same boring questions over and over, like, so it tells that story that you had that one time with the cat. The same go-to story that Jay Leno uses for every A-list celebrity because he's afraid to ask real questions. That's why I hate those shows. Those late-night shows that are just miserable. At least Jimmy Fallon is kind of performing, although he's kind of like a... Jimmy Fallon has become kind of a monkey, though. Perform, dance, monkey. You can look at it 2 different ways, Aisha and Greg. You can either look at it like, hey... He's working for his paycheck, or you can look at it like, God damn, this guy is desperate for ratings, because yes, he's doing good, but I think they're almost afraid to lose it, because that guy, every show, if you guys look at some of the stuff he's doing, every show he's doing something. Like
SNL and Saturday Night Live, I think he honestly likes doing the skits. He likes being that silly, funny guy. He wouldn't go to it as easily if he didn't enjoy it in a small way.
Yeah. Well, that's probably why it's working, and so many people are connecting with Fallon, because the fact that he is from an SNL and he's kind of using his roots.
People realize he's funny. He's not just
the interviewer guy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's not just there to listen to the celebrities talk and ask them questions. He's entertaining too.
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, I'm not into PG type entertainment, but it's nice to see that someone's willing.
Sometimes it's PG-13.
Very, very rarely. But it's nice to see someone not forget their roots, where they came from, and he's not afraid to get up there and do the crazy skits and be the jackass.
He's always into being silly.
Yeah, so that's nice. Speaking of silly, kids performance. My kid had his first end of the year school performance.
Aww.
That stuff is so silly, though. I love that my kid was up there. In fact, the school did a horrible job promoting it. I didn't even know about it until yesterday. Actually, my kid told me last week that they're going to be singing, and I'm like, oh, okay. They do music class.
They've probably been sending him home with stuff for a little while.
I check. I'm one of those parents that look through the folders immediately. Didn't see anything in there. However, I went on the calendar to find out when the exact last day of school was this week for him, and I saw they have a talent show. So I asked him about it. He said, oh, yes, I'm going to be singing. But he told me, though, Daddy, I'm not going to sing, though. I'm not going to sing and I'm not going to dance. I'm like, why not? I'm embarrassed. And I'm like, no, you're going to. And sure enough, we went there, and me, Maggie, his mother, and her mother went there, and guess what he did? He was right in the center. Was oh, great, he's right in the center. Didn't sing, didn't dance, just stood there like this, looking at everybody.
Deadpan.
Didn't do anything. Everybody else is singing and dancing around him. He's just like standing. I'm like, good, my son's too cool for school. That's great. But which is funny because he's a silly kid and he always does crazy things, but for some reason as soon as people are staring at him he like freezes.
Just freezes up.
Yeah.
Aww.
Kid performances though, like they're really funny. Like there's stereotypes like in the movies, when you see like parents fighting to get into the front row, you think it's just a joke. It's real. It's real. I mean, they were putting seats up still in this auditorium, and while they're putting seats up, I feel sorry for Luis and Berta who were like wheeling the seats, like hold on, uno momento, and like you have parents sitting down as they're rolling the seats forward, not waiting for them to put the seats in place. They're sitting down, and then they realize, oh wait a second. There's going to be more seats. So then they put more seats in front of them, and every time they're moving seats in front of them, they keep moving. Their entire family is moving one row up, one row up, one row up. I'm like, you guys, wait for them to put the seats up. If I was Berto, I would have said, listen, bitch, wait in the back of the line there and let me finish putting the goddamn chairs up before you sit on them. Oh, it was frustrating. And because I was the first one there, I got there first because I wanted to get a seat, but I wasn't going to be those people fight. They were fighting for seats. And then you have people with their cameras up, overpowering other people with their cameras up. Like they would look back at you to see if you're looking, but then they would put it up in front of you anyway.
Was the school recording this event?
I don't know. I didn't see anything.
Because that's the one thing that pisses me off. I feel like the schools should record all events like that and tell the parents, do not record. Because it's just rude to everyone else that like isn't behind you. Like you're in the front row, yeah, awesome. You're gonna get a badass picture of your kid, but everyone behind you has your dumbass camera right in the middle of their shot.
Yeah, and then that glow from the cell phone, they all use cell phones, so that glow overexposes your cell phone when you're trying to take a picture.
You're not watching your child's performance. You're looking at it through a tiny screen. Like no cell phones, no digital cameras, one photographer. Get that shit done.
That's a really look at you run. I want you to run my kid's school.
All right. We'll go there tomorrow.
Well, because that makes perfect sense. Parents quit taking pictures, just like at a concert. You go to a Led Zeppelin concert, no flash photography. And you know what I would like? That would be brilliant because you get those people up there, or
and
you
then
have
the school can
one
make
person,
money at a moderate price,
like
selling that footage.
$2 a video. Don't make it too much.
Exactly.
Perfect. That's a good idea. I like that idea.
Everybody wins.
Yeah. But my weekend events was a little not as usual. It's weird. I'm still trying to get used to this post Men with No Lives life. Like I'm not used to it. I'm used to waking up Saturdays.
On a Saturday.
Well, I'm used to waking up Saturdays and doing 8 hours of show notes. Now I'm waking up Saturday at 10 a.m. and I'm like, what the hell am I going to do? I went to go see Godzilla because I was psyched about seeing it. And while we were waiting, the 3D movie was only... it was, I think, $20 or something like that. But anyways, we had to wait another 3 hours to see it because they didn't have enough screenings, which I would think that with a movie like this, you would have several screenings
They do
back
what,
to
maybe
back.
3 a day?
Yeah, something like that. It wasn't that much. And I went there, and we had to wait 3 hours, so I went to go get a drink. And, I wanted food. I felt like an alcoholic because we went to a bar. This is in Tempe, and all there are bars. So we went to a bar that's right across the street from the theater, and it's like 10:45, and I'm having a margarita on a Saturday, and I'm like, oh my God, what am I?
Did you go to Tempe Marketplace?
I felt like a retiree. Yeah, it was Tempe Marketplace. But Godzilla didn't really live up to the hype. I know Greg's going to have some things to say about this in a minute because we've talked about it off air. To me, because I'm going to break it down. Jesus Christ, what is that, Greg?
Godzilla!
Godzilla is like a kid with a new toy. He's got a soundboard now over there, so he's gonna be helping me out a lot with that, thankfully. But to me, Godzilla, and I have a brief review of it. This is my idea of Godzilla, and I know there was I took a lot of heat, about it. People were like, "Well, Michael, it's a Godzilla movie, and there's a formula for it, and you have to fit that formula, otherwise, it isn't a Godzilla movie."
Thanks for making me sound like a fucking hillbilly.
Well, it wasn't just you, Greg. It was a lot of people kind of kind of like shit talked me. But then there was a large part, it's like 50-50. I'm exaggerating a little bit. Some people retweeted the hell out of me on Twitter when I said something about the first act was good, and then I think Godzilla ate the second and third act because there was no trace of it, which is true. I mean, I was so hyped. The first 25 minutes of that movie was stunning. Absolutely. I mean, the opening scene that took place in 1999, the setup from the old days in the 50s, I mean, was done genius. Bryan Cranston, when his wife, spoiler here, when his wife died and he screams at the top of his lungs and he slams that emergency shutoff, I mean, that was, dude, I got teary-eyed. My chest was heaving when he slammed that and screamed. Because Bryan Cranston is what you call a fantastic actor. He did good. He did a great job, and then he dies, everybody. Spoiler here. He dies. 25 minutes in the movie, he dies. And it was so unbelievable that he died to me that I didn't believe it. I thought he was going to come back because of, like, radiation or something. I thought, something's going to happen. He's going to come back. And then I go to the next scene, and he's zipped up in a body bag, and I'm like, well, you know, the movie died. And this was funny because basically I think what happened was not only did he get put in that Ziploc bag, you know, the body bag, but also I think the rest of the script was also trapped in the body bag, because after he died, to me, the movie died. And I'm going to let you have your piece in a minute too, Greg, because I know you're waiting. And I understand that it's a monster movie. And the first thing I heard was, well, monster movies, you can't expect character development in a monster movie. And I'm like, I didn't say anything about character development. I just want to see a movie that follows a writing structure that's been set in place for a millennia. You know, let's not reinvent the wheel. Let's do first act, second act, third act. Let's not do first act and then a bunch of index card or cue cards. You know, that's what I felt like they did. I felt like after that first act, the whole entire movie fell apart, and it became one shot. Like, it became one scene after the next, and they weren't complete scenes. I felt like we actually got gypped. You would see the start of a fight scene or start of an action scene, and then all of a sudden they would cut it to some boring military, like, naval ship where they can give you some exposition and explain the story for you. Then they go back to the action scene. Then they go back to the ship to explain some more shit that they should just show us. You know, show, not tell. Okay, this isn't kindergarten. Show us. Okay? Then you have the most cheesiest line of all when Ken Watanabe turns to the screen and says, Godzilla. I'm like, oh, God, Jesus Christ. They only put Ken Watanabe in that movie just so he could say Godzilla like the Japanese stereotype. That was the only reason why they put them in that movie. When the casting director was looking for people to fill that role, I'm like, well, we gotta have Ken Watanabe. Why? Well, his English is very broken, and he's gonna say Godzilla exactly how the stereotype is. So let's put him in the movie, and he's gonna look at the camera really cheesy and say it. He's gonna utter the lines, Godzilla.
There's no L in Godzilla when you're Japanese.
How do they say it?
Gojira!
That's actually, the original word was Gojira.
Gojira?
Yeah.
With the J, right?
Yeah, G-O-G-I-R-A was the original title of the film back in the 50s.
Go ahead.
And so, like, I understand your point, and I mean, obviously before the show, like, you and I had kind of I was kind of, very vocal about, I thought it was a great film. I went into it, and I just, for me, I just completely disregarded anything. Like, I just sat back and I enjoyed a Godzilla film like I did when I was a kid.
Right. And, well, see, you went in with the right mindset.
And that's why I watch the Godzilla films, because they're fun and I can just disconnect. And,
well, listen, I expect that. When I go to a summer movie, I do expect that. I expect I'm just going to disconnect. But I also want to watch something that's cohesive. And to me, it felt really like someone just taped a bunch of scenes together. After the first act was brilliant. But the second and third act, I felt like maybe there might have been more. And in editing, they just started cutting. They started cutting because there wasn't even any acting. The whole entire movie was just one, like, gigantic, over-the-top blockbuster scene after another, which the visual effects were some of the best visual effects I have ever seen. Fantastic work.
Oh, no, they were awesome. Like, obviously, for those that don't know who didn't listen to my lives, like, I do visual effects and I do 3D modeling, so, for me, seeing how they did everything, like, even from the Mutos, the other kaiju, and Godzilla himself was, again, like, I even stated this, it took me back to when I was a kid. I mean, like, the first night I saw it, like, I was all smiles. Like, the moment Godzilla started showing up, and
I am a Godzilla fan, because that's some first thing someone said to me was, people who know Godzilla movies, knew what to expect. I'm like,
Yeah.
no, listen, I grew up watching. I've seen all of them, even the cheesy ones that people don't even want to remember. Okay, the verses, all the verses where they fought every different monster. I watched them all. My father watched them, so we watched them all the time growing up as a kid. So, and I appreciate them. But there's plenty of monster movies that have, that stick to a cohesive writing style. To me, and one thing I wrote is, someone wrote, David Sabal wrote that the formula is pretty simple and redundant. That's what makes Godzilla Godzilla. And I put, perhaps they should rely on better writing. That way they would actually make better movies. Besides, I've seen lots of monster movies with a soul. Okay, sadly, Godzilla was more like a how-to-paint-by-numbers type summer movie. You could replace Godzilla or the other monsters in the movie with aliens, earthquakes, or a comet, or any number of disaster-type devices used in summer movies. See, to me, it was almost like, hey, take Godzilla out, and we've seen this movie a dozen times.
Right.
We've seen Elijah Wood, try to run away to the Ark. We've seen Pierce Brosnan fighting volcano ash, as the world gets erupted in volcanoes and fire. We've seen Will Smith fight aliens. I expected Will Smith to jump on the screen like, oh, no, he did not shoot blue shit at me. Like, I expected to see that. That is probably my biggest point. I wanted to see a Godzilla movie that felt unique, but also stayed true to the roots.
Right.
And I do say one positive thing. I do like how Godzilla was pretty much the hero of the movie.
Yeah, that was...
And you did like him. And when he was beating the shit out of the Motus... I call them Motus, because that's how it's pronounced. I mean, I'm American. So stupid. How do you say it?
Mutos.
Mutos. But it's spelled M-O-T-U.
No, it's M-U-T-O.
M-O?
M-U-T-O.
Oh, are you sure?
Yeah.
I thought it was spelled...
Massive unidentified terrestrial
massive
organism.
Okay. Look at you, Greg. You nerdy
I've seen it
geek.
twice already. Like, I saw it once on Friday, and then I took my youngest sister to see it in Capri on Sunday.
Ooh.
And this is the sister that got into, she got into Transformers because I took her to see the first film.
Dude, didn't the director of this movie do a monster? He did a movie called Monster.
He did movies called Monsters, and he made it for $500,000.
And it was brilliant. And it was brilliant.
And
it was brilliant.
It was awesome, and that's what got him this job. And
yeah.
He, at the beginning of this, even said that he's a fan, and he wants basically to do a film that not only fans will be pleased with, but that Toho will be pleased with. And Toho actually loved this film. Like they saw it. They called. In an interview, he said that they saw it and they called him. And just for people to say, they're just saying that because it's making a lot of money.
It's true.
To harken back to the '98 Godzilla, Kenpachiro Satsuma.
Well, that was just terrible.
Well.
It was basically Jurassic Park.
Satsuma, basically, for those that don't know, Satsuma is one of the actors who donned the Godzilla suit back in the 70s, and he actually walked out of the screening saying, when asked, what he thought about it, he's just like, it's not Godzilla, it doesn't have his spirit.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, is that it didn't, and...
I agree with you. This did have a Godzilla vibe.
It had his spirit.
The other movie didn't. The other movie didn't. This one did have it. My problem is, though, is I understand how you're saying how the director wanted to be true to Godzilla. I get that. But that guy obviously, by seeing his independent film, the guy obviously knows movies, and he knows how to write the hell out of a monster movie, because that movie's really good, okay? But then you see this, and to me, this is a perfect example of Hollywood not giving a shit and just wanting to make a buck. Because they should have... I guarantee you this isn't the script the kid wanted, okay? I guarantee it's not, man. Because you can be true to the roots.
Right.
And you can still be true and tell a story.
Right.
Because that's a movie that's what it is. It's a story.
Right.
It isn't shot, a movie shouldn't be shot after shot after shot of nothingness. To me, there needs to be a movie that propels a plot. That's the whole purpose of a motion picture. So that's where I find my fault in it. I'm tired of these, and people, so many people say, well, dude, this is what we expect out of summer movies. I think that's the problem. When do we stop expecting shit? It's like my whole issue with why I left Middle Lives. I'm like, when do you finally say enough is enough and say, let's do something right the right way. Let's put some heart and soul into it and do it the right way and still be true to a certain, genre. I'll give you an example of a good movie, Tarantino and Rodriguez, when they did the Grindhouse movies, okay? Those are shit movies.
Yeah.
But they are shit movies done on purpose to be shit. There was a script, there was good acting, and there was the style, and they actually rekindled the feel of the Grindhouse cinema.
Right.
That is what you do. That is doing it correctly. And that's what I felt like Godzilla lacked.
Well,
yes, they had the vibe and the essence, but there wasn't a story and it wasn't done correctly.
I think...
in a story fashion.
Right. Well, and I think, with Edwards, with as much, pressure he had on his shoulders, I think he might have played it a little bit safe.
Sure.
And because again, he wanted to keep his promise, so I think he played it safe to where, I said before that he kind of followed how the original films were, where you didn't see Godzilla that much.
Yeah.
That they had a very story-driven element, because I think, I don't know which company's putting it out, but if you go pick up, I think one company put out Godzilla, like the original 1950s Godzilla, but they put it out in a dual pack where you have the one with Raymond Burr.
I saw that
but
on
then
IMDb.
you have the original Japanese cut, and the Japanese cut is actually super depressing and really dark, and you don't see much of Godzilla. It's more so about the human element. So, I get what they did with Godzilla, meaning a lot of people say, well, Bryan Cranston wasn't the star of the movie, it was Godzilla. And I do get that that's what they were doing, but then you shouldn't try to do a gimmick. Don't do gimmick casting. They did gimmick casting by saying, hey guys, look at Bryan Cranston's a huge star right now. Guess who's going to beat it? Bryan Cranston. Right.
Can you just say, listen, Bryan Cranston is not the star of the movie? But no, instead they put his name on every single marketing. I mean, if I was a Bryan Cranston fan, I would have been pissed. And I was pissed, because I probably wouldn't have jumped at seeing that movie right away if he wasn't in it. But we need to move on. We need to move on to Billboard shit. You guys watched the Billboard Music Awards. It's a fiasco. The Billboard Music Awards just happened this past weekend, and the thing that everybody's talking about is this whole Michael Jackson hologram, and they are posing a question: is it creepy or cool? And quite frankly, it's pretty fucking creepy, and it's probably creepy to all the kids he touched as well. Like, oh shit, I thought this devil man was dead, and now here he is again on stage performing. Is he gonna touch me? Why is it, if you realize, Aisha, that when you have talent, you get a pass? Like, Michael Jackson is a remarkable talent, but there is, where there's smoke, there's fire. How many times was this guy accused of molesting kids? Okay. Oh, he made me drink his Jesus juice. Holy shit. How do we still idolize this guy? And then not one person in any interviews. I was listening to an interview with Pharrell, and he says that Pharrell was like his greatest inspiration is Michael Jackson, yada, yada, yada. I'm like, if I was the person interviewing him, I'd be like, I understand he's a great artist and he's inspirational to you. When all this came out that he was touching kids, did it kind of take away from his inspiration to you? Like, did it kind of bring him down a notch? Or did you still say, hey, it's all right, because he's an inspiration?
Are you a Peter Pepper?
Exactly. I mean, I think I think this pass on talent is going a little too far.
Michael Jackson is far different than any Roman Polanski or Woody Allen.
You think he's different than them?
Yes,
really?
entirely.
I don't.
Okay, listen, hear me out. Okay?
All right.
You're thinking about it entirely black and white. You have to realize Michael Jackson is trapped in the mind of a 5 to 6 year old.
Right.
Because he never got a fucking childhood. He's been working since he got out of toddlerhood. His parents were busting his balls. Do you know how much that child practiced before he was even a man, let alone how much he practiced as an adult? You have to respect him for that alone. Busting his ballsack his whole life.
Yeah.
So that being said, he's still a child mentally. He never grew up. And when children play with other children, sometimes inappropriate things happen. And when it's two children, you don't think anything of it. You tell them that that's not okay and you move on. When it's an adult and another child, there's a big no-no there. But because he had never mentally developed in the right way to see that some of his relationships with children were totally inappropriate.
Right.
That's why, you just wouldn't leave him alone with your kids because he wasn't mature enough to see some of the interactions he had with them weren't terribly appropriate.
Okay, so on that line of thinking, I see the difference between Roman Polanski and Woody Allen and all these other...
They just want to fuck 12-year-olds.
Right. However, I mean, it doesn't make it okay that
it doesn't.
Because many serial killers, murder people because they live in this trapped life that their mother abused them or their father abused them and
You're
they
right.
never
It
really
doesn't
was
make
able
any
to
of it
grow.
okay, but you can't be so black and white about it.
Well, I'm not black and white about it. If someone were to put me, if I were to do an interview with this man, let's do a holographic interview. Let's make a hologram and I'll interview him right now. But if I were to do an interview with him, I would be very, non-aggressive about it. I would ask him about personal life and personal issues and his life with his family.
Get into his psyche
but
a little
however, the plain and simple facts is that we shouldn't be idolizing a guy who did touch kids, whether he was naive or not. The fact that we just look, everyone turns a blind eye.
Exactly.
They turn a blind eye, and almost nobody mentions it anymore. I know the guy's dead, and we shouldn't. And what more damage can he do? But the people he's affected, the lives he's affected, they keep living on, and it's sad that you imagine, let's say you had a kid, okay? No, let's say someone murdered your mother, okay? Let's say someone murdered your mother, and the whole world idolized that murderer because they were a fantastic artist. And the person died, and you finally felt your comeuppance came. You're like, oh my God, I feel good. This person finally got what's coming to them. This son of a bitch finally died. And then they make a holographic image of the bitch. Sorry, not your mother, but holographic image of the guy who murdered your mom. And now we celebrate her and we worship her, and she's the greatest. She's the second coming of Christ, which is how people treat Michael Jackson. Wouldn't it just terrify you and bring up those memories again? Right. Would we take your nose and rub it
but do you recall when they were showing the kids on Dateline and stuff when they were going through the trials? And when they showed the kids like interviews with them trying to seem like traumatized and they just weren't believable. Like, it didn't seem like those kids, like, if anything truly bad or inappropriate did happen to them, it didn't seem like they were having severe problems with it. It honestly seemed like it was something the parents found out about and decided to blow the fuck up into a million pieces over because of who he was.
I'm sure they did. If
like,
Michael
honestly,
Jackson,
I think if anything
inappropriate
inappropriate did happen, like legitimately happened with any kids, it wasn't in any way that anyone ever thought that it was. It was in total innocence. That doesn't make it right. That doesn't mean it ever should have happened, but it's not the way people portray it to be.
I just wish
I love them so much.
I wish people would start bringing it up and realize that every time we regurgitate this image of this man and we act like he was a saint, that we're not looking at the effects that it had on other people. You wouldn't do this like every time a Jewish person, pops in the room. You wouldn't start talking about concentration camps and be like, you remember at Auschwitz what happened? No, because you would be sensitive that there would be someone there. And I think that with the fact that we idolize this guy so massively, I don't think it's fair to all the victims because we don't know all the victims necessarily. There's some people that probably kept silent.
I feel like it's more unfair to the victims, the amount of people that just like continuously make fun of it as if it's a laughing matter.
Now, Macklemore, speaking of the Jews, Macklemore is, I pose this question, is Macklemore a Jew hater? His gimmick just got proven that it was just that. His whole gimmick, like same love, and he loves gay people, and how it's not, his whole like anti-bullying, and how he's like this new rapper guy who's
is
so
it because he got
evolved.
86'd from a whole country? Is that why he wants equality?
So stupid. Like, he's so evolved, supposedly, as a rapper. Everyone hails this guy as being an evolved rapper who doesn't say the three-letter F word, who doesn't say, doesn't talk about gay people. And he even said in a song, in Same Love, he has said, if I was gay, I would think hip-hop hates me, is what he said. And, that's great. I'm not saying anything bad about his music or his lyrics. That's great. If you want to say feel-good music, fine. But I think it's what I've always been saying about Macklemore. It's a gimmick. I don't think he really truly cares that gay people are being picked on. He's a hip-hop guy who found his gimmick as being, hey, look I'm going to be a soft, sensitive guy, and here's my music. Because if he truly was this person that we prop him up as, this guy who loves people and who's, humanity's hero, he wouldn't get on stage at the Billboard Awards, and supposedly, some people say he didn't do it, but he dressed up as a stereotypical Jew. He had a big
Did he dress up as a Hasidic Jew? Is that what he
had a big Jew, yes. I want to know, because he had a big Jew nose, a beard, and a yarmulke-type hat on. I mean, he said that he wasn't dressing as a Jew.
No way, fool.
Seth Rogen actually tweeted him and said Macklemore stated that he did not intend to dress up as a stereotypical Jew. And Seth Rogen actually tweeted him and said, yeah, really, dude? I'm like, if I were to dress up as a stereotypical Jew, that would be my shopping list right there. So, and that coming from a Jew. So a lot of people were kind of offended by it. Me, I'm not offended by it. I don't give a shit. I think people that know me know that I don't give a shit. However, I am about hypocrisy and about complete and utter bullshit. And I think a man who hails himself as, same love, we're all humans, let's all love each other, then gets on stage and dresses as a stereotypical Jew.
Maybe he was just,
he was a hook
really
nose,
hating on Modest Yahoo that day. You never know.
I think hopefully Macklemore was exposed for him being just a normal person like everybody else, and he's not the second coming of saviors to hip hop music. And it was on that note, we have coming up, we do have an interview with the Hulu television show producers and actors and writers. 3 people on the phone, so it's going to be interesting. From the show Complete Works. It was an independent web series that basically gained a lot of interest, and Hulu picked it up and put it on and say, listen, let's not do this as a web series. Let's do this as a show. And put them on their Hulu original series section. And we have an interview coming up with them in a moment.
No time for the jibber jabber.
Okay, and that is it. You know what? I've lost my train of thought, dude. I'm not used to someone else running.
Onward to a break?
Yeah, we're going to go. Thank you. We're going to run to a quick break, and we'll be right back with the Complete Works producers and writers.
Don't go nowhere. The Rain Man will be right back.
Hey, ass butt.
It needs to be closed up at the end of this season and be a catalyst for Darkseid Dean.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I killed a big, angel.
I killed God.
I killed God, and it gave him the
murder boner.
The murder, yeah, for all intents and purposes, a murder boner. And
you know what I think might happen is I think Dean will kill Metatron, and then his eyes will turn black, and then we're going to hear this.
Put him in a body bag, Johnny.
History repeats itself. Try and you succeed. You're the never doubt that you're the one.
Gotta wait for the hook, Ryan.
You're the best around. Nothing's gonna ever keep you down.
Just a montage of him murdering.
I think it's time for a montage.
Angels, demons, people on the street.
I think I would be okay with this.
Dude, I would watch this looped. I would make a GIF out of it and just watch it looped over and over.
Imagine, dude, eyes turn black, and all of a sudden you just hear that hook, dude.
You know if that happens, you have to do this now. You have to make this a video and put it up.
Oh my god, that's genius.
That's
awesome.
great.
Don't miss the all-new Supernatural fan show, The Crossroads. Available on Stitcher and iTunes. Search The Crossroads.
Oh shit, my nigga! My nigga! My nigga! Watch this shit.
Pour this shit in your eyes,
My
man.
nigga, I'm not pouring out of my eye. Yo, this shit fuck. Bitch, the fuck?
Open your eyes.
Oh shit. Oh, she's in trouble now. Oh, no, fuck this bitch up.
Come on. Put your face back. You gotta open your eyes. You gotta open your eyes. You gotta open your eyes. You gotta open your eyes.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
Oh, God, that's funny. Oh, that's good stuff.
The Rain Man Show. Calling it like we see it.
49% geek, 1% douche.
Fellas, are you looking to spice things up in the bedroom? Been fantasizing about surprising your lover with an adventurous new toy or adult movie? Well, here's an offer you won't be able to resist. Go to adamandeve.com, and for a limited time only, you'll get 50% off just about any item. But that's not all. Oh, no. When you select your one item at 50% off, you'll also receive 3 free adult DVDs for a little inspiration. Plus, a free extra gift so sensual, we can't mention it on the radio. And to top it all off, we'll even throw in free shipping on your entire order. And no, we're not teasing. So check out adamandeve.com today for this special offer. Get 50% off one item when you type DEAL30 for the offer code upon checkout. When you do, you'll get 3 free DVDs, a free extra gift, and free shipping. Just use offer code DEAL30 at adamandeve.com.
You're listening to The Rain Man Show on Rain Man Digital.
Okay, so on the line we have the producers, creators, and writers of the Hulu television show Complete Works. It's Joe Sofranco, Adam North, and Lily Fuller. Now, let me read this synopsis really fast, and we're going to jump into it. Complete Works centers around Hal, a Midwestern Shakespeare maniac who finds himself in a last-minute spot in the finals of a cutthroat Shakespeare acting competition. He quickly finds himself amongst crazies and crazy challenges. And then the story unfolds. Now, first off, I mean, I was hooked the minute the minute that Hal got that spot because somebody got shot, I was in.
Oh my god, I love it.
I mean, now, is this loosely based on Joe's life? Is it? Is that what I read?
A little bit. It was inspired by an experience, so not totally, but pretty much fictional. Hi, I'm Joe. Thank you so much, Mike, for having us on your show.
Oh,
yeah. It's based on the real National Shakespeare Competition, which is something I did in 2004, so 10 years ago, and it's this big thing that sort of like 16,000 high schoolers compete across the country, and then within their high schools, and then if you win your high school, you do your city, and if you win your city, you go to New York,
right?
And if you win New York, you get like a trip to London, and luckily that was me who won the whole thing, and then
did somebody get shot, Joe? Did somebody get shot? That's what I want to know.
That's why I got there, because somebody got that didn't happen.
Yes,
I
hired someone to actually shoot this person.
yeah.
Don't worry. Don't worry. We won't. We'll make sure no one hears that. You could admit it.
Yeah, our little secret. No, no. Yeah, it was the real competition is, I'd say, is much less actually cutthroat than what we created in the show. But we liked the idea of doing a show about that sort of environment where Lily and I had done an arts competition together too, and Adam and Lily had done some arts competitions in college, and we kind of like the idea of like some of these arts competitions, you go into them and there's this sort of feeling of like, yay, congratulations, we're just here to support and have fun and just learn and grow and like appreciate the craft and which is true and which is good stuff, and it's really and they are genuine when they say those things, but there's also this sort of underlying tension, like in the National Shakespeare Competition, you're there for the whole weekend, and there's this sort of underlying tension of like, but somebody is going to win, but we have to compete on Monday after we're done, like, having fun on the town on Saturday.
Right. Someone's going to get voted off the island in the end. Right. I mean.
Yeah.
Well,
exactly.
Now this was originally a web series concept. Did the web series version find itself on the web before it got picked up by Hulu, or did they see something out of it and like, okay, guys, can we repackage this and put this together as a 5-part series?
More of the latter. We had originally created 14 episodes, and they were shorter, like 7 to 10 minutes. And then when we started talking to Hulu, they saw some of those episodes, and they really liked it. And then we had also proposed maybe, that we could possibly put it together as 5 a half an hour episode.
Right, which is what they typically do. They do a lot of the BBC stuff, which is 4 to 6 episodes, because it kind of fit right in over on their original programming list.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things that helped us, because I think they're more and more transitioning, because they do acquire a lot of web content that is short form, but it seems like their model is transitioning more towards doing almost exclusively sort of half an hour, long form content.
Right.
So, I think that helped sort of pique their interest for sure.
So originally, you guys shot this on your own. Now I read through our research department did their work. I hope. Now we got that you guys made the original series by yourselves for $40,000. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Pretty
close.
Yeah.
So when you got picked up, now you guys your show is being picked up on Hulu. Now, is there a chance of a second? A season 2 where Hulu may front the bill? Is that even a possibility? Is there rumors? Can you even talk about that?
Oh, goodness.
Lily.
Good question.
Is this way ahead of time, or is this?
We've had that question before, and we've had a lot of, people that have started to watch the show be like, when's season 2? I already finished season 1, and, I need season 2. What happens to Hal immediately? And, we don't know what the future holds yet. If audiences really, really like it and people are really excited about a season 2, we will definitely see if that's a path worth following, and maybe putting that together. We would love to, obviously.
You guys need to get that Hulu paycheck, if you don't have to front, so you guys don't have to be in the back, pull your money out of your own pocket anymore. I mean, now that you guys got a show, your show looks beautiful, by the way. It's a gorgeous show. If you don't mind me asking, what did you guys shoot on? What was your tech? Who's your cinematographer? What did you guys shoot with?
Yeah. Yeah, our cinematographer's name is Ben Winchell, and he was awesome. We love him. We shot, part of the DIY. I mean, there's a million DIY things about this show. It's really, we could talk for hours about it. But to answer your question, I mean, we shot on a combination of 3 different Red cameras. Nice. And the only reason we were shooting on a combination of 3 was solely because we were borrowing, lending, getting grants, and getting deals for different cameras for different periods of time.
Yeah.
It was actually kind of a hassle because we had to keep, several times during the shoot, we had to be like, all right, now the job has to drive to Long Beach to transfer this camera to this guy, and Ben's going to go pick up the new camera, and Jaden's going to get the blah. So it was kind of it's tough. But we shot on Red Epic and Red Scarlet, so it was kind of mixing and matching between those. And one of actually the nice things, the sort of happy accidents of the sort of budgetary limitation where we kept having to switch cameras, was that on the transition day, on the day where one camera was due and the next camera was being given to us, we were actually able to work it out so that we could have 2 cameras on those days. Oh, so I think that happened for 2 days of shooting, and those were really, really helpful days because we were shooting up at the amphitheater that day, and both of those days we had an A and a B camera, and it allowed us to get more coverage in less time, and we were racing against the sun, and it was very helpful actually.
Yeah. Now, you guys wouldn't consider this a sitcom, would you? Because I know Hulu kind of describes it as a sitcom, but I wouldn't. I mean, this isn't a laugh track, NBC, run-of-the-mill Charlie Sheen or FX, applause track with the same tired jokes that you hear in every single episode. I mean, what would you guys classify? You know what I mean? I mean, this is
we didn't shoot it on a soundstage on Fridays in front of a live audience. Exactly. I mean, we've always thought of it as, a single camera comedy, sort of more what you're used to seeing on FX and IFC and HBO, and we had kind of always modeled ourselves after shows like that.
Well, that's what I got. That's exactly what I got from it. Was this is more, and even the quality, it's more on par with paid television rather than run of the mill. Because I'll just say it right, I'm not a fan of sitcoms. I mean, it's just so. And you guys don't have to say nothing because you guys have careers. I've already burned my career to the ground, so I don't have to worry about it. But I mean, sitcoms are just run of the mill regurgitated shit for the most part, and this is and it's kind of almost Hulu doesn't give you guys justice by saying, hey, it's a sitcom, yay. So I just want to get it out there that to my listeners that this is something I would watch. You guys, the thing is though with your show, it's a slippery slope with you guys because when it comes to packaging or marketing this, because it is a smart show, but at the same time, a lot of times if people may not want to watch something smart. They don't want to feel like they have to pay attention necessarily. But you guys, right when you guys get too smart, it gets lowbrow in a good way. In a good way.
Oh, good.
Okay. And when I say lowbrow, I don't mean no intelligence. I mean you guys dumb it down a little bit, make it funny so that people who may not be able to follow something that's pretty much written for the intelligent audience will appreciate it as well. I think you guys were able to find that line, which a lot of shows can't. You usually are either far to the left or you're far to the right. You're never very much in the center, and you guys I think accomplished something that could appeal to a larger audience. Unless you're in theater, you guys made Shakespeare interesting. And that's something that a lot of people just don't find interesting nowadays unless you're in the theater. or unless they cast DiCaprio in the starring role on a remake of Romeo and Juliet 50.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
So you guys did a good job bringing Shakespeare back.
I mean, I think we tried when we were writing it to always because we're all really passionate about it, and I think we were really conscientious of that as we were going through the process because it was kind of a nice balance of our personalities. Joe and Lily. Joe obviously is a Shakespeare expert, has a huge background in Shakespeare. I studied literature in college, but Shakespeare wasn't my focus, and so we kind of balanced each other out because whenever it felt like we were, we hadn't incorporated enough Shakespeare, Lily and Joe were always there to fill it in and make it always feel like it was, the same show, the same story. And then whenever maybe it felt like we were going too inside, I would be the one that was like, I don't get it, guys. I don't know that. I don't know that fact. We can't include that.
The other thing we talked about was that the Shakespeare. We never wanted to just be doing Shakespeare just to be like, oh, and isn't it awesome we're doing Shakespeare now? We always wanted, because we knew that would be that would kind of turn people off possibly, So we always wanted to make sure the Shakespeare was driving the main action or driving the main story, and that you weren't seeing Shakespeare for too long of a period of time.
Yeah.
And on the other hand, we also didn't want to dumb down the Shakespeare. We didn't want to choose the really blue, only the bluest Shakespeare references. We wanted to, these people who are doing this competition are really, educated in Shakespeare. So we wanted to pick the right pieces for these characters and the right references that would be. So I don't know. I think we tried at least to strike the balance between, making it sort of enough mass appealing enough so that you don't have to know Shakespeare in order to have fun during the ride, and also have little Easter eggs for the people who do know who Hotspur is from Henry IV, and who do know who Malcolm is and Macbeth. So for those people, they get the extra bonus of being yes, it totally works because in the actual play, that's kind of similar to what Hal's going through and blah 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 blah.
Obviously, there's some odd characters in your show. And you're probably taking some inspiration, obviously, from some people you might have known. I know as a writer, who wrote this? Was it Joe or was it both of you? Joe and Adam, both?
The two of us. Yeah.
Okay, so obviously you guys stole a little bit from people you've actually met. Now, is there anybody that you actually?
What are you talking about?
Did you have it fun writing something? Because I think we've all written things about people if you're a writer and you use them as your source of inspiration. But seeing it on the screen now, where thousands and thousands of people are now seeing it, now do you find it fulfilling that someone that you may not have liked too much and you use their poor humanly traits? Go ahead.
I don't think we ever set out to make fun of any particular thing, but we did want to
Come on.
We did want to write about the people that that do exist in the theater world. We're oh my god, I know that guy. We wanted people
the
to feel that way because a lot of the people are based on real people that we know in the theater world that and it's accentuated and sure exaggerated in our show, I'm sure. But like Reagan's character, we don't necessarily know anyone who's exactly like Reagan. We're not necessarily making fun of somebody who's like that.
Right.
We're more just we just think those people are they're funny. I don't know. There's something funny about the way that
I think that we all found. I think we all found we found that they were all sort of types of people.
Mm-hmm.
All the competitors kind of represent a different type of person that I think we encounter in a lot of in the theater world, in arts competitions, in competitive environments.
Mm-hmm.
And so we kind of we infused them with people that we knew or, people we could think of to draw upon to make them feel real. But when we were constructing them, we always wanted, they were all sort of mirroring Hal's journey in one way or another.
Okay.
You have a really hyper-competitive, the Pauline who's extraordinarily competitive, but who doesn't necessarily have, she may not be as passionate about the material as some other people. And then you have Ian who's who's really talented, but sort of doesn't understand himself enough to be the best version of himself and is very insecure. And so, I think those stereotypes really run through the theater community, and so we kind of picked on them, and it hopefully kind of lovingly played with them without being too harsh.
Right. Well, now, when you guys are obviously involved in the theater for the most part, and you guys are involved in acting, obviously, so is it fun to kind of like put the mirror in front of yourselves and kind of, because in a sense you're also poking fun of yourself, especially, the Hal character.
Totally.
I mean, the Hal character, I'm assuming, Joe is Joe. I'm assuming, right? You are playing yourself. You're inspired by probably an exaggerated version of yourself, but obviously you're putting that mirror in front of yourself. Do you find it hard to kind of poke fun of yourself and remembering foolish things you might have done and then throwing it in the script, or you find it kind of maybe a way to redeem yourself?
Well, I'd say it's less autobiographical than you think it is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it started a little more that way, maybe in our first draft of the script. But when Adam and I were working on it, we wanted to make. I mean, to be honest, my story, we didn't think my own story, Joseph Franco's story, was interesting enough.
Mm-hmm.
It just wasn't, and so we created how.
You're really interesting, Joe.
I'm just a guy who is from Cincinnati who happened to win the National Shakespeare competition, and yay, and I won. But we wanted to take Hal on a journey, and we wanted to see what could happen to him so I think from the beginning, Adam and I were we definitely wrote the character with myself in mind to play it.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember even sitting in the coffee shop with Adam and Adam looking at me being like, Joe, this is we're writing a character. This is definitely not you. I remember that moment, and I was like, I know. Because
you wrote me as very buff for some reason. Joe, come on, you're not buff, Joe. Come on.
Yeah.
You don't have six-pack, Joe.
No, we're but Adam, you know what I mean, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think we definitely drew a lot upon Joe's experience and the reality of the competition to make the show feel real. But as far as the characters go, yeah, we definitely tried to depart a little bit, because in some ways that's more fun too. For both Lily and Joe who were in it, we felt as we were writing it, it would be more fun if they were playing someone that was either just left of center of who they are, or an exaggerated version of some qualities that they wanted to comment on or something.
Yeah.
But from where I'm sitting, I wasn't in it except for one brief cameo,
Mm-hmm.
but I thought it was really fun to watch both of them play different versions of themselves that definitely are they represent some qualities of them.
Okay,
but, we're definitely a little bit of a departure. It was really fun to watch.
Lily, plug your ears real fast. Joe and Adam here. Is Lily really a bitch in real life or just in the show? I mean, I just need.
I knew you were going to ask that.
I knew you were going there too. I knew you were going there, and I was gonna say it before you could. It's funny because Lily's Lily often actually never gets cast in that role.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny because the 90% of the time in theater and other film work she's done, she's cast as the bubbly, ditzy, sassy, vivacious one.
Mm-hmm.
And in this one, she's super dry, often very negative, cutthroat, very the New Yorker, So it was definitely. I mean, Lily, you could speak to it better than I could, but it was. I agree. It was fun to watch you play something that wasn't you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a pretty positive person, and I'm pretty happy generally, and Pauline is very different from that. She's really sarcastic. Her speech pattern is different from mine, but I do think that, and at first I was like, whoa, this is so different from me, and Adam and Joe were really great at helping me kind of find the character. But as I was shooting, I remember one day on set, our makeup girl, Emily, was like, Lily, you are so much like Pauline. You are so intense. When you're not, when I'm producing on set, you're such a very on it, and no bullshit. You're just telling it how it is, and she's like, that's Pauline. You need to bring that.
Yeah.
And that was day 4 or 5 of shooting. So it was kind of oh, okay, I can do this. I can play her.
Yeah.
And then
you're oh shit, let's go back and shoot day 1 through 4 again.
Yeah, well, exactly.
Lily, did you find it tough, because you're a bubbly person and nice, and you're not that, the character kind of standoffish like we saw in the early episodes? Is that something that, was it hard to, get to that point?
Yeah, I mean, it was hard at first. But, you know, we were fortunate enough to get to do a little bit of rehearsing before we started shooting.
Yeah.
And so in those rehearsals, you know, with Adam, because Adam and Joe directed the series as well. And, you know, we talked a lot about her. We talked a lot about the way that she talks and you know, the way that like she would deliver a sentence is not, you know, with a vocal pattern that goes up and down and, you know, is full of life. It's more just like straightforward and dry.
Yeah.
Like, it was just about kind of finding that tone. And once I kind of figured out what that was, then it was easy.
Yeah, once she did that, she became like a total bitch for the whole month, and she was really good.
Yeah.
So you're not like Daniel Day-Lewis. You don't like live the role. You're not like for the whole entire 2 months of shooting. I am so bitchy right now. Don't speak to me. That's not you.
I mean, I sure wish I would have done that on set, but you know, then it would have just been really intense because like the days that I wasn't acting, you know, I was just producing and
you're throwing
and doing all
lattes
that
at the
stuff.
PA.
And
Come
I
on.
guess-
I heard that. I Googled you. I found that.
Oh my God! I should have just been a big bitch the whole time. It would have been so interesting. But you know, maybe for season 2, you know, we'll see.
You know, it's funny because we were so like because it was so DIY much of the time, and there was like we were like doing so much on set that we like never in a million years could have we ever been like Daniel Day-Lewis. It was very much the opposite of that. It was like oh shit, I have to act now. It was much more like that than it was like the opposite where like, but you know, in a way like we knew the story so well. We knew, you know, we had been working on the script for so long. It's not like I needed to sit in a corner and like brood about what Hal was going through at that moment. Like I knew what Hal was going through. Like it was just a matter of just like refocusing your brain for like a split second when they were like, you know, setting about to call action, like and then just going, you know.
Yeah. Well, now are you guys are the dream team. Now, are you guys going to be doing? Do you have anything else planned, you guys and ladies? Like, have anything in the works that you guys are doing together? Or are you going to be going your separate ways?
Bye, guys.
Yeah, I'm done.
Later.
I'm done.
Yeah,
I'm done working with these fools. No way.
This is our sign off.
Well, you know what? Sometimes you think you love somebody, and then you spend 4 years on a project with them. You're like, dude, I don't think I like you that much to do another 4 years with you.
No, I think we've been really fortunate. I think we've all been friends for a really long time. We all met in college, and I think, you know, when we started out this project, we didn't know how long it was going to go for, and it did go for several years, and I feel really fortunate because I think we all came out of it. I don't know. I feel like we're all much closer now, and like and I don't know. It's really worked out. So we do have some stuff that we're working on together.
Excellent. And do you think this Hulu show going to be a good platform for you guys to get out there? You guys already seeing more people trying to get a hold of you? Is the phone ringing? That's what I want to know. Is the phone ringing?
I have phones ringing. I gotta go, Mike. I got somebody's. The industry's calling.
The industry's calling us.
Now, would you guys sell out in a heartbeat? I mean, I would. I mean, do you guys? Let's be honest.
What do you mean sell out?
Hold on, let's do this. Lily, who out of Joe and Adam, who would you think would sell out faster?
Wait, what do you mean?
Like, who would sell out? Who would give up all their, like, you know, sell out, go from indie to, like, mainstream success, and it's like, don't care about the script. I want to be, you know, Matt LeBlanc earning that check. Who whose personality, Lily? You know these people better than anybody. Who would sell out the fastest?
Why are you asking me? I
mean, well, this is so easy. It's totally me. It's totally Adam. I have to just answer honestly.
I love it. You just say
probably be Adam, but I'd probably be running along there with you. I'd be like, oh wait, hold on, and Joe would be like, wait, we need to work on the story. Like, this isn't good enough. Keep going.
Oh, I love it.
Oh my God.
Like, it's fine.
No, I mean, I think we would all we'd all be happy to do. But I mean, we're all happy to do anything, really. We're excited. We're young, you know, so we're still we're happy to do indie stuff. We're happy to do mainstream stuff if that's what comes up next for us. Like, you know, we're right now we're working on 2 different TV. We're developing 2 different TV ideas, and
awesome.
we're developing 2 different feature ideas, and you know, we don't know exactly what's going to be next, but we've at least got a couple different, you know, fires going, and we're going to see which one sort of takes off next.
See,
you know?
doesn't that feel good, though? I mean, that feels good. Having things in the works and saying, you know what, the future's bright. You know, we have this show on Hulu now, which is great exposure. And it's just, I mean, it's got to feel good.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, I mean, it's so
happy.
exciting. I mean, we worked on this for so long. It's so amazing that it's finally out there and we can share it with people. And you know, it's there forever. You know, it's just, you know, obviously we came from theater and theater is incredible, but you put it up and then there's a run and it's over. Whereas this, like, is film and it lasts forever. And it's just, you know, it's really exciting and awesome for us.
And also just to be out of our like cave. You know, if you think about like a 3-year indie project, like the majority of those 3 years, you're operating in a vacuum where no one has it. You know, all of our friends are like, "How's Complete Works?" And we're like, we're still working on it. So like,
and family never understands that type of stuff too. Like your other friends and family, they're like, "You worked on that last year as well. Like, is it close to being done?"
They're like, "You worked on it 2 years ago, and I still haven't seen anything. Are you sure you're working on it?" They're like,
"No," and it was like, wait, so they're like, this is the same like a web series? Like, what year is this of the web series that you've been working on? Do people do this stuff like in a couple days?
Oh man!
Right? Oh yeah. The best is when you have people. This is actually the worst. It's when you have people. You like tell somebody you don't know, like, "Yeah, I kind of been working on this like web series for a couple of years," and they're like, "Oh yeah, I just saw a web series last weekend. It's so fun." And you're like, "No, you have no idea."
Picking up a camera, picking up a GoPro, and shooting your friend, you know, doing somersaults isn't a web series.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it is in some people's minds. That's the thing. Yeah. No, but I mean, it really is. That's been like the coolest thing is finally, you know, not staring at it on my own computer, like actually, you know, having other people stare on their computers, you know, but actually like having people be able to see like the stuff that we labored over and talked about and debated over and the detailed work that we, you know, thought about for so long. It's exciting to finally have it, you know, reach an audience.
Oh, I bet. You and, if I may say this, Lily and Joe, you guys are in a relationship, right? Yeah.
Yes, we are.
How does that work? How does that work?
On Facebook? Are we in a relationship, Lily? No.
I'm telling you guys, you know, and you guys are serious. You know, like I do my research, and you guys are Facebook official. You guys are Facebook official. I saw it with my own eyes. So you now, how does that work? How does that? You guys find yourselves arguing sometimes, even though you guys got to maintain the professionalism on set, or even on behind the scenes? Do you guys start getting into like relationship type banter sometimes, to where you guys want to fight with each other, and it comes on and it bleeds onto set or bleeds onto any other project you may be working on together?
Oh God, I hope not.
And Adam, how do you deal with it?
I mean,
gosh, yeah, you go, Adam. I don't know.
No, I mean we keep it pretty legit when we're all together. I mean, the only times I've ever seen like, I don't know, when we're all together working and we're just hanging out as friends. I've never seen them like have a lovers spat on set.
We've been together a really long time, and we're, you know, we made it through Complete Work, so that's definitely a big one. Like, we have a pretty good working relationship.
Oh, that's good.
If we can make it through Complete Works, we can make it through anything, Lily.
I know.
Like I was saying, like, we've been together almost so long that it really was on set. It's kind of a non-issue. Like, it's really, it doesn't. You know, I mean, I guess the only like real thing I would say is that, like, after we were done shooting, I was like, oh, like, where's my girlfriend? Like, because like we almost like we were so focused on like the business side of things on set that we, like, you know, it almost like we weren't even dating during that period of time, because we were just so focused on work.
I mean, I barely saw Joe. I mean, obviously I saw Joe on set, but I was like, if I wasn't in a scene acting or sitting behind the camera, you know, checking things out, I was running around dealing with costumes or dealing with, you know, getting such and such actor to, we wanted blah, 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 you know, so, like, it's not, you know, we never had some crazy squabble, like, on set.
You guys keep it professional. That's good. I mean, you guys don't need counseling after shooting or anything.
No, thank God. Yeah.
All right, well that's good. Think
not
that is
the
it.
juice you were hoping for. I know, right?
I know. I wanted some. Like, well, he cheated on me, and I am cheated on him with Adam. I want to hear for the first time on air. I guess no.
You want to go like all Maury Povich on this?
But thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for your time, and hopefully I'll keep tabs on you, Xan. Oh, you know what? And Lily, I think it was. Are you the one who controls the Twitter, right? The social media? Are you the one?
We all definitely take part in the Twitter. But,
okay, because whoever contacted me, you guys do your work, because I was talking about deadbeats, and someone contacted me and like, well, if you like deadbeats, check out Complete Work, and I was like, all right. I'm like, I got spammed, and that was a good thing.
Yes, I'm so glad.
So it works.
I'm
I mean,
so glad.
as long as you guys have a good product, I don't care. As long as you're not trying to sell me, male enhancers. I mean, that's fine with me.
That's funny. Well, it's Lily who kind of runs the social media end of things, but we also have like a really great team of undergraduates at USC who have been helping us over the last couple of weeks, especially in the couple of weeks leading up to the release.
Look at you guys having interns. Look at you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now go get me a smoothie.
We couldn't do it, on our own. It was too much. I mean, there's too many things to do for the three of us, so we needed some outside help.
Yeah.
And they were great. So
yeah. All right. Well, thanks again, guys and girls. Joe Sofranco, Adam North, and Lily Fuller, and thank you so much. And the site is, where can they find you? It's Hulu, correct? Hulu.
We're actually you can find us in the TV section, or you can find us in the comedy section. But the best way to find, there's two ways, I guess. The best way is just go to CompleteWorks.tv. That's the easiest way.
Okay.
And if you're on Hulu, it's hulu.com/complete-works.
Nice.
And you can follow us on Twitter at CompleteWorksTV or on Instagram at CompleteWorks.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, guys.
Thanks so much, Mike. Thanks for having us.
Don't go nowhere. The Rain Man will be right back. Why? What's going on with the man of the scrotum?
They just removed his scrotum.
And how big was it?
132 pounds.
Oh my God, that weighs more than people weigh.
That's more than I weigh.
How much do you weigh?
Like 112.
You weigh 112. So yeah, his balls weigh more than you.
Yeah.
He does got big balls.
It's a rare condition called scrotal lymphedema.
Like, let me wrap you up in them. Like, you can wrap them up. You can wrap somebody up.
Get lost in them.
Yeah, literally.
Seriously.
What's going on in here? It'd be like the Blob. Remember the Blob, where the Blob like covers you and you see through? You know how if you stretch the balls out, you can kind of see through them a little bit.
No, I don't have
You
balls.
can't see through them, but like it looks like you can though if you really tried.
So there is a California boy. He hatches a sea snail from his knee. He fell on a pile of rocks when the family was on vacation, and he had a cut. And so I guess the little snail baby thing got into his cut. The mom eventually squeezes the cut or whatever.
And the snail came out?
And a little...
Hello! We are the snail people!
It's gross. See, they are aliens, Mike. You were right. They grow inside our bodies.
I'm telling you, they're taking over.
It's so gross.
Oh, yes, you think you fell on your knees, do you? Well, that is untrue. It was an elaborate plan from space. And what we did was we abducted you when you were very little, and we implanted you with an embryo. And it is our master plan to take over the world. Once again, the snail people enter the news. Stand back. And little do you know that not only did we infest the little boy's knee, but the 130-pound ball sack was really the mother snail. We are taking over the world. Look out! Look out, world! We are coming for all of you!
49% geek, 51% douche.
I am so excited about this new network, Rain Man Digital. I mean, finally a network that's all about me. Supernatural The Crossroads? Me. Star Wars From the Back to Tank? Me. Weird West Radio? Me. The Rain Man Show? Me. Rain Man equals me. I'm the Rain Man.
49% geek, 51% douche.
You're listening to The Rain Man Show on Rain Man Digital.
Tell me that you need me, then you go and cut me down. But wait, tell me that you're sorry.
All right, Rain Man, RainManWasHere.com. You can find us on Stitcher. Search Rain Man. Rain Man Digital. Chipotle, I've been seeing pop up on the internet everywhere. Chipotle, I guess, is putting a ban on guns. Don't bring guns in our stores. I don't know if I have a problem with this. I think anybody who knows me knows I am very, very pro-gun. But let me play this news article here, and then I'll talk a little bit about it.
Are asking you to leave your guns at home. It follows a gun rights demonstration at one of the chain's Dallas restaurants this weekend. The protesters brought loaded assault-style weapons into Chipotle, upsetting some customers. The chain's request is not an outright ban, and Chipotle says policy in this area should be set by governments and not businesses.
Once again, it sounds like to me you have some jackasses not knowing their limits. People ruin it for themselves. It's like those kids growing up. In fact, I have a kid that does this, who presses his luck. I'm like, hey, listen, if you behave, you can have all the ice cream and candy you want. But he misbehaves. He presses his luck. He goes too far in what he shouldn't be doing. And what happens? I have to take away the candy and the ice cream because he didn't listen. Don't shove things in people's faces.
Chipotle restaurants are asking you to leave your guns at home. It follows a gun rights demonstration at one of the chain's Dallas restaurants this weekend. The protesters brought loaded assault-style weapons into Chipotle, upsetting some customers. The chain's request is not an outright ban, and Chipotle says policy in this area should be set by governments and not businesses.
Why are you I understand you doing a gun demonstration, and then you walk in with giant assault rifles. You don't think you're going to scare some people? I mean, Greg, we're all pro-gun, I think, on this network. But, dude, if you're having yourself a nice Chipotle burrito and all of a sudden you see 6 or 7 people walk in with automatic rifles, what are you going to think of first?
Well, I think they're going to come and they're going to shoot the place up. But here's the thing.
Exactly.
If you're okay, what in I understand everybody has their gun rights. I get that. That's everybody's right to carry a gun. It's everybody's civil liberty or whatever to have a gun. But do you need to go out with an assault rifle to go to a Chipotle?
Yeah.
If you're going to a gun rally, then you might
pack a lunch, dude.
Or I'm pretty certain you have a gun rack in your car.
Yeah.
That you could put that in, or lockbox, like the hard carrying cases for those fucking things, and you could put that in your trunk where nobody can get at it. But you feel the need to walk in with it and going I ain't gonna hurt nobody. I could probably save somebody, motherfucker. Do you know how much of a chance it's gonna be that somebody's gonna come and try and rob a fucking Chipotle to where you're gonna be able to use that? Let alone if you carried maybe just a sidearm.
Yeah. And you
got
a
little bit different.
You got to have some smarts with it. Now, if you live in a one-road town and everyone lives in the hills and they all have knives strapped to their belts, you live in one of those towns, then it would be different because people are used to seeing all those guns. You could walk into a Chipotle or McDonald's and people aren't going to freak out. But if you're walking in the middle of Dallas in a town that, yes, Dallas has guns, I get it, but when you're in the city of Dallas is a giant city, okay? It isn't Fort Collins, Colorado. Okay, this is Dallas, a giant city, one of the biggest cities in the country. Dude, you are asking for trouble. You're that kid who pushes the limits and gets all the privileges taken away for everybody because you're the fuck who didn't, who wanted to push it in people's faces. Now you're risking a ban for everybody. Chipotle has, first off, this article says Chipotle hasn't banned shit. The first thing they say is Chipotle is asking customers not to bring firearms into its stores after it says gun rights advocates brought military-style assault rifles into one of its restaurants in Texas. The Denver-based company notes that it has traditionally complied with local laws regarding open and concealed firearms. So they have traditionally complied with the local laws. And they even said that they shouldn't have to set these laws. They've said we shouldn't have to, the state should, but also people should exercise caution. Basically, they're saying you guys fucked up yourselves, and now we're asking you guys not to. There isn't an official ban, meaning if someone wanted to be a dick about it and bring a gun in, he could still do it. He's going to be asked not to, but in the grand scheme of things, he could just say yes anyway.
But also that too, like wherever these restaurants are, like say if it's just a single chain store, that store itself has a right as a company policy in their stores to say that guns are not allowed on the premises.
Yeah, they have that right.
And that's their right, but a lot of places don't exercise that. But the same thing is, too, where years ago when I worked for Atomic Comics and I was at the Chandler Mall location, and it was during a free comic book day event, a gentleman walked in, and he had a sidearm. It was in a holster. It wasn't out. It wasn't, the holster wasn't unclipped. But the policy that that Westgate, the company that runs the Chandler Mall and the outlying areas outside of it, states that on those premises, which included Atomic Comics, that guns were not allowed.
Right.
And it was their policy, and so in that way, that has to be enforced because it's their property, it's their rules. So what the guy did is security, because people were uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So security came in and they said, they asked him, sir, can you please go put your gun in your car? And he said, no, I'm keeping it for my, for me and my family's protection. And I was like, from what? From other comic book fans?
Yes.
And so, he argued with them, and they said, sir, it's policy of, this is property of Westgate, and it's their policy that no guns are allowed. And he goes, well, I'm not doing anything. I'm not gonna, you're not gonna take my gun from me. And they're like, sir, all we're asking is for you to put it in your car. And he made this big ordeal, and he kept going off about shit. And so then finally the cops had to get involved, and the cops threatened to arrest him.
Yeah.
And the guy begrudgingly, went and put his gun in his car, and he came back, and all he did was bitch. It's like, dude, you could have saved yourself all this trouble and all this embarrassment to you and your family if you just put your gun in your car.
It's ridiculous, dude. And they want to push that whole, Second Amendment rights. I understand that, and I agree with it. But, guys, don't push it in people's faces. It's just like, with the gay agenda as well. Listen, if I believe in gay rights, but when you constantly push it, like the whole Chick-fil-A thing, and we're gonna go make out in front of Chick-fil-A just to spite them. What good is that? What's good? You don't need a goddamn gun in a Chipotle, dude. But goddamn it, Tommy, I'm really hungry right now, and we just got done doing this here demonstration for our gun rights. We're marching, right, Tommy? Well, Tommy, I'm hungry. I want some Chipotle with a barbacoa, and I'm gonna just strap here my assault rifle here. Yeah. Well, Father, maybe we should leave our guns in the car. Nah, goddamn it, Tommy, this is my right as an American to eat a goddamn Chipotle burrito barbacoa style with extra guacamole and tomatoes and the hot salsa on it with the corn so I can shit it out later and you see the corn. I want to have my goddamn assault rifle strapped to my goddamn back like Chewbacca in Star Wars because it's my American right. Who cares if we're going to walk in there like a militia with 20 of us rolling 20 deep and we might scare little Billy Bob over there who's 5 years old sucking on a kid's tortilla quesadilla with no guacamole and maybe a little bit of sour cream and no salsa because he doesn't want to burn his mouth very much. We might scare little Billy Bob. But you know what? It's our God-given right to walk in there 20 deep with 25,000 rounds of ammo and a gun strapped to my back like a goddamn bowcaster. Anyways, it's ridiculous. All right, Aisha, on that note, it is time for news.
Yay,
with
news.
Aisha Garcia. I'm so confused now. Is that you?
Yeah.
Turn it up a little bit. We'll just go with yours.
You gotta keep them separated.
News, just for old time's sake. A little mishaps
Did you pick some
in Florida.
Some nice stuff today, right? You got a lot of crazy stuff. Any burning children and And sex stories?
I feel like I kept this one a little bit tame compared to last week, but hopefully you won't be disappointed.
Okay.
But
you don't got to suck on the mic, but get on the mic just a little bit more. Just a little
I'm
bit.
just tonguing it a little bit.
Okay. So what do we have?
Okay, American Express was trying to rape my laptop with pop-ups.
No.
All right, here we go. Man killed after dispute over texting in theater. This was actually a little while ago, back in January, but still newsworthy and also from Florida. Couldn't resist. Yeah. Killed. According to the sheriff's office, the dispute happened before the showing of Lone Survivor had gotten underway.
Oh my God.
Investigators say two couples had gotten into an argument over noise. The victim was on his cell phone. He was texting. We believe he was making some kind of noise. The noise led to an altercation between the suspect and the victim. A witness recalled seeing the agitated man, later identified by deputies as Curtis Reeves, get up and leave in an apparent attempt to find a manager. When he came back alone, the argument escalated. The voices started going up. There seems to be confrontation. Somebody throws popcorn. Then, bang, he was shot.
Would you kindly shut your noise hole?
So he was shot because he was making too much noise. So someone shot him.
It's based on this article. It's kind of hard to decipher what happened. Like, was his cell phone light bugging you? Did he still have his button noise turned on?
Some of those people are fucking annoying in the theater, though. Like, you get those, especially the young kids. You get those ghetto kids in there. You get like, I was sitting next to this Mexican guy a couple months ago seeing a movie. I can't remember what I saw, but he was talking like full voice. Like, first off, if you're in the theater, don't answer your phone, number one, because you're seeing a movie. Unless, I don't mind seeing a brief light really fast, because let's say you're a parent and you're on a date night and you have a kid, okay, and there might be an emergency and you need to look really fast. I get that. But if it's not an emergency, it's not the babysitter, it isn't little Tommy who just, slipped out of the bathroom and broke his neck, okay, there's no reason to answer it. You're in a movie theater.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy, Jose picks up the phone. He's hola. Oh, crazy. Well, that's all, Holmes. And I'm like, holy shit, dude.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, exactly. Like, first off, dude, I don't even know. Why would you even dream of answering the phone? If you have to, you whisper. Whisper a little bit. Do a whisper. But no, that was full on talking.
What's great is the ages of these people. The victim, a 43-year-old man.
He's the victim.
Yes.
Maybe he was deaf. Well, 43 is not that old, though.
He can probably hear better than the suspect, Curtis Reeves, a 71-year-old retired Tampa police officer.
So he had a gun with him.
These are senior and middle-aged men that don't
He probably called him a whippersnapper before he shot him.
Right?
I'm like, dude, he's 43.
You kids these days.
Yeah, that's funny. What else do we have in the news today?
I had to let the world know about this.
Okay.
Next in the news, drunk teen disguised as flower pot uses a chainsaw to rob a gas station.
Wait, he disguised himself as a flower pot?
Yes.
How does
He's
one
wearing
manage?
a flower pot on his head.
He's wearing now.
This honestly brings YOLO to a whole new fucking level.
Stupid. Now, does he look like a flower pot, or does he look like a guy pretending to be a flower pot? Like, do you have a picture of him?
I do have a picture of this child, this misguided child.
Piece of garbage.
I don't understand. And did he actually confuse anybody? Did anybody actually think that he was like who is that? Oh, it's just a flower pot. Never mind him. Did anyone actually fall for that?
Well,
what does the article say?
What the article says. When the clerks refused to hand over any cash, Skeel, which is the suspect's name, allegedly pulled down his pants, mooned them, stole a soda, and stormed out of the store and damaged a car in the parking lot.
I'm going to whip my dick out.
And he was still wearing the flower pot as he was walking down the road, and that's how he got caught. A police officer spotted him with the flower pot on his head.
The first thing you learn in movies, and yes, I'm going to say we learn this in movies because we do. The first thing you do when you commit a crime in a movie is, what do? You get rid of the wig you're wearing or the hat and you change your clothes. Just watch Mission Impossible a couple times. You can see Ethan Hunt do it several times. He changes the jacket, or he makes the jacket go inside out.
Or he changes his whole face.
Yeah, that's true. Bad example.
All
Michael.
else fails, rip your face off.
Yeah.
Next in the news, I couldn't find a further in-depth article on this story because I got it from a British site, but drunk New York police officer allegedly shoots stranger 6 times in horrifying attack.
Oh,
Only in New York.
A British cop? I thought they carry billy clubs.
No, this happened in New York, but the site I got the story off of is a British site.
Oh, so he's a New York cop.
So they don't have this is the whole article of all of this craziness. A New York police officer has been arrested for allegedly shooting a stranger 6 times while being under the influence of alcohol. The incident happened just before midnight in Pelham, New York, when the suspect pulled up to a set of traffic lights and fired 13 shots into a stranger's car. A passenger in the car was hit 6 times. According to the New York Post, the officer named Brendan Cronin had spent the day with NYPD colleagues spending time at a shooting range before heading to a bar for some drinks.
Is this the anti-gun show? I think we're not really helping the pro-gun cause today with these news op.
Hey, the other guy had a fucking chainsaw.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
Chainsaws need to be more
What would you be more afraid of, Greg? A chainsaw or a gun? What would you be more afraid of?
I'd be afraid of a gun.
But what if a gun, you can get shot and you're like, oh, what the fuck? Oh, well. Like, if it's a body shot, you could survive, hopefully.
Right.
Whereas with a chainsaw, dude, you're going to get the fucking shit cut out of you. I mean, dude, there is no, like, a nip. If you get nipped by a chainsaw, you're probably going to lose a limb or a dick. I mean, I would rather be shot. If I had a choice between, hey, dude, I'm going to run at you with this chainsaw full speed and we're going to be like 10 paces, or we're going to go 10 paces old school style, like you cheated on you took my wife from me back in the old days, we're going to go back to back 10 paces turning, I'm going to shoot you. I'd rather have that because the chances are he has bad aim, number one. You know, he might shoot an arm, or he might shoot your thigh, or he might shoot your gut, which you can live for a long time with a gut wound. You know, chances are he's not going to do
Don't give me that.
Yeah, the chances are he's not going to do a James Bond, point blank shot to your dome. So I might choose the gun. What about you, Aisha? Do you think you choose the gun or the chainsaw? What would you like to see come at you?
Personally, I'd probably go for the chainsaw.
Yeah, you would.
I want the whole adrenaline factor as I'm running, like hearing it behind me.
And the vibration. You're gonna
and
be
then
like,
if they catch me, like, oh god.
Can I ride it now, please? Thank you. You see that vibration? That's phenomenal. All right. So what else do we have in the news? Anything else?
In the news?
Anything else that would be interesting to the world of Rain Man digital listeners?
All right. Next in the news, students find $41,000 in a Salvation Army sofa and actually return it to the owner.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
What's wrong with our youth today?
Having morals and shit.
I read this and I was like, I get it, they're trying to be good and like everything, but I mean, come on, man. Like, it was like 40 grand.
Think of the good karma that they built up, and they probably took a couple 20s out that stack.
I'm pretty certain the lady probably gave them some money too. Like,
yeah, 40 grand. Like, here, have a couple hundred, kids.
But then they hit her over the
Don't
head with
spend
a
it all in one
lead
place.
pipe, and then they took the rest back.
I don't know about that one, Greg. $41,000. You know, shame on that person for donating something to the Salvation Army and not checking the cushions.
Yeah, how do you stash almost 50 grand in a couch and forget you put it there?
They probably didn't even know it was there. It probably was
I forgot about my retirement.
No, it was probably some shady ass family member who, like, I don't use banks. I put my shit in
That's what I'm saying.
I put my money in cushions and mattresses. I don't use banks. You can't trust banks. And then he got shot and killed or arrested, and and no one ever knew the money was there. But that could be it. I mean, help me out here.
I don't know. Like, it just seems like. I don't even think the owner probably knew anymore. Like 10-1, they probably got that couch from a family member who did that, and then they donated it. And so then when they showed up, like, hey, you used to own this couch, so we found $41,000 in it. We wanted to return it to you. That person's like, in their mind, they're like, oh fuck, there was $41,000 in that. Then they're like, oh, thank you. Oh my god, I totally forgot about that. Bullshit, bitch.
Yeah, he had no idea. He had no idea there was $41,000. He wasn't like, this wasn't the. See, I would have felt bad if he was like this. Oh shit, I misplaced $41,000. Where did I put that $41,000? Now, if that was a scenario that he forgot, he misplaced $41,000, because I guess it's very easy to misplace a large sum of money like that. But let's say it was, okay? I would feel bad if he was looking for it. Now, if he did not know $41,000 ever existed, then I wouldn't feel bad. I would not. And a guy that gave it away to the Salvation Army didn't know it existed, because he would have been shitting bricks and not giving away shit until he found that money. Yeah, dude. Fucking kids. These kids. These goddamn kids. What else do we have in the news?
Next in the news, Sex toy floods the home after being flushed down the toilet.
Wait, what happened? A sex toy did what?
It flooded a house.
Wait, what's the story? Come on, what's the story, Aisha?
If you would pay attention the first time, Michael.
I did. There's got to be more than just a
sex toy floods home after being flushed down the toilet. This is a British article, so they said loo.
So it jammed up the plumbing.
Translating for everyone. Yeah, gummed up the works. So someone threw a huge dildo for whatever reason. Maybe I'm thinking that maybe they put it in their ass one night and then forgot. And in the morning, like, fuck, I'm so constipated. I have to take the biggest shit of my life and shit out that huge dildo. Jesus. And then it was just already filthy and dirty in the toilet. Why am I going to grab that? Just flush it down. Just flush it down.
Has that happened to you before or something? You're like, you forgot something was up your ass?
No, I don't generally put much up there. Not like I'm not against anal. Everything's really small on me.
Right.
So things are uncomfortable.
Right. Well, you got to have
I mean, I'm lucky that my vagina has pliability.
Lucky that my vagina has pliability. Think about this news article. Now, was this one dildo? Or was it like a slew?
The large dildo apparently caused a blockage in the pipes, which then led to a flood when water became backed up.
Could they trace it back to what house, or was it like a condominiums, apartments? Oh, they knew who did it. Was it owned by a male gentleman or a female?
They don't say anything about the individual in question, like whose home it was, or like if they were a man or a woman. Because I think it'd be funnier if it was a man.
I know. Excuse me, Tim. Yeah, I'm your local plumber. We noticed that your plumbing is backed up by a dildo we found flushed down the toilet. Chances are he was ashamed of his act. Like, oh my God, I just plugged myself in the ass with this. What am I going to do with this? Throw it away. Throw it away.
The water department spokesman's comment. A Southwest Water spokesman said, most blockages are caused by non-biodegradable materials flushed down the toilet. Cotton buds, wipes, condoms, and tampons. When it comes to cling blockages, we've come to expect the unexpected.
Yeah.
When we're looking for the cause, it could be anything, and it's surprising what you find. The sex toy found actually caused a major internal flood.
Yeah.
And then they go on to list the top 10 items found in Southwest sewers. This is someplace in London.
This is brilliant. What's the list?
Number 1, false teeth.
Oh, that's funny. I wouldn't even think of that.
Right? I know, right? And that has to be an accident, like old people cleaning their teeth in the sink in their bathroom next to the toilet, and they just accidentally drop them in there.
What about chainsaws? Is there any chainsaws in there?
Number 2,
what about
mobile phones.
Mobile phones. I could see that. That's easy.
It's in your back pocket. Pull it down. Ah, shit. Yeah. Number 3, plastic toilet refreshener hangers. I know.
Interesting.
Like I guess those little blue things that freshen up the water.
Right. Well, that would make sense.
Number 4, underwear.
Listen, hold on a second. Why even make those for toilets if they're not going to be able to flush? You know what I mean? Like, you need to make those things. They belong in the toilet. So let's say you guys make them biodegradable, or they quickly dissolve if they become engulfed with water. Because I bet you that's messing up people's... I would hate to have bought something and then messed up my plumbing, spent $20,000 on a plumber to come to my home and fix it because I bought a product that's supposed to be in a goddamn toilet. If I bought something that's supposed to be in a goddamn toilet, then it needs to belong in a goddamn toilet. All right. What else is on that list?
Number 5, 12-inch kitchen knife.
I know. A what?
12-inch kitchen knife.
Just for no reason. A 12.
Were they that specific? Are people shitting this out? And 12 inches. That's a really specific knife size.
It's very specific.
Are people murdering? Like, are there a lot of murders in this area with kitchen knives, and then that's how people dispose of their evidence? Like, I don't understand why so many people are flushing knives.
Is there any body parts that you find in there, like people's body? Do you see that on the list?
And I'm not seeing body parts yet.
Okay.
Number 6 is sex toys.
Really?
So only number 6.
Do you think it's like? Do you think it's like people get like?
Probably happens the most is someone gets a whole row of anal beads, and then you go to pull out, and that last one gets left behind, and you get it out later.
For someone who isn't into anal, understands that things may get stuck sometimes.
It's the hazard of the trade.
I think you just lied to us previously. I think the truth is now coming.
I'm not saying I've never done anything
you do
anally.
You prefer it. Just saying.
No.
Oh, you prefer it.
If
Okay.
I could make it happen, I'm always down for a little DP.
So you need a guy with a small penis to do anal.
Yeah.
Did you know I've actually spoken to
So
girls?
Asians.
No, I've actually spoken to girls that who some women, believe it or not, doesn't make them sluts, but some women like anal, and they actually date guys with small penises, so
they
it
can
doesn't
have more
hurt
anal
as much.
sex. Yeah,
so it doesn't destroy them. I'm like, God damn, I'll pretend I have a small penis. I'll just put the tip in. How's that work? Just joking. Anyways, what else do we have in the news? Or actually, you know what? What else is on that list? Anything else?
Yeah. Next is length of timber.
Timber? Like pieces of wood.
Yeah.
Well,
People
I
are
just
literally
got done.
dropping logs down their toilet. Even better.
Yeah.
Number 8, steel rods.
Wow.
The fuck?
How could people even? Do you think there's dumb people out there that really think they can flush this shit down the toilet?
It gets better, bro. Oh God. Number 9 is children's toys, including bicycles.
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 How the hell do you
flush
even
a bicycle?
Yeah.
And it doesn't say dismantled either, because number 10 is dead sheep and an extra ...
That's funny. Oh my
so,
god.
I don't know what that extra is. Maybe those are the limbs you were questioning earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
And then lastly, dismantled greenhouse.
That doesn't even make. And what country is this in?
This is in Britain.
Oh, fucking Brits over there, man.
Yeah, and some
Start
province.
flushing normal things. Was there any
Southwest.
shit found in the toilet? I mean, shit. I mean, with all the things you found, it's like they don't even find actual shit.
Sweetie, come here for a second. Listen, I don't know where to put this dismantled greenhouse. Do you know what we should do with it? I don't know, Reginald. Why don't you just go ahead and
Isn't there a sinkhole in your bathroom for that?
Oh my god.
Really? Like who? Like because there has to be a moment they're like, this probably isn't gonna work, and they're just like, fuck it.
Hold on a second. Let me see if I can find some music for you, Greg, so you can do that again. All right. Go ahead, Greg. What should we do? Greg, in Britain, what do we do? What do you guys do with the toilet? Do you guys usually flush shit and pee? Or what? British Greg, tell us what you actually use the toilet for in Britain.
Was that? I really don't know what you mean by toilet. I'll take a shit out in the fucking courtyard or something, and then I'll fucking take a piss at it too. But I do have this thing. It's a wet trash disposal that I'll put pretty much anything down. I'll put food down there. I'll put I put a bicycle. I don't know how that fit, but it fit. And then I went over to my mum's place. And I dismantled her greenhouse because she didn't need them more. And I used her wet trash disposal. And she kept telling me it was a toilet that I was supposed to piss and shit in it. But I just pissed and shit out in the yard. And I told her, you need to go clean that up, or someone's gonna get real pissed off on it. But that's what that's what we put down when you call it toilet over here. I don't know why you people sit on it. It's a trash compactor. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about over here. So.
There you have it. British Greg has just made an appearance.
Thank you for explaining to us proper toilet usage.
All right. I like the water disposal. It's a water disposal system. It helps flush the toilet. It helps guide the trash into the proper area.
Well, see what it is. Basically, the water itself, is slightly acidic. So, when you flush things down, it starts breaking it down. By the time it reaches, the actual river flow, it's already broken down enough to where it can go back into the soil and maybe not cause too much damage. But who really gives a shit? Who really goes out in the countryside anyways? Nobody farms there anymore. It's a bunch of Peter Puffers and fucking Southern fairies out there.
All right. Okay, so what else do we have in the news? Anything else interesting?
Next in the news, Burger King ditches slogan, "Have it your way," after 40 years.
Really?
Yeah.
What was the reasoning behind this? This brilliant decision.
They are now in favor of what they consider to be the more personal, be your way. I don't want to be a burger. I want to have my burger my way.
Exactly. I think that's a lot. Why would you change your slogan after 40 years?
Maybe it's like subliminal messaging, like the whole "you are what you eat" kind of thing. So you want your burger loaded with cheese, bacon, jalapenos, and a bunch of grease? be that burger.
See, I understand changes like Kentucky Fried Chicken. When they made their change from, KFC, and they kind of changed, they did it smart. They were already known as KFC, but if you actually look at what KFC means now, it's not Kentucky Fried Chicken, it's Kentucky Fresh Chicken. I get why they did that. They changed that probably 10 years ago now because of the health kick. They were trying to they didn't want to have the word fried because a lot of studies and marketing and bullshit showed that the word fried pushed
People
away.
stray away from that now.
So they wanted their name to be Kentucky Fresh Chicken. But most people knew them as KFC. So their change wasn't detrimental to their brand.
No.
When you have a Burger King
then they
brand,
introduced the fucking Double Down sandwich.
I have no idea what that. Are you?
Oh, God.
I used to eat KFC.
It's a chicken sandwich with, instead of buns,
chicken patties, and then cheese and bacon in the middle.
Ooh, that is fatty. That sounds good.
It's called the Double Down. Basically, if you go there and you get that is really all you need to get. Because by the time you're done eating that thing, you are fat.
No, you need to get a side of mashed potatoes to throw in between those.
What's actually in it? What's in it?
It's two chicken patties, and then in the middle is cheese and bacon.
All it's missing is mashed potatoes.
So invert your chicken sandwich and take away
bun,
any of the bun is just breading on your chicken.
Wow.
And you can get it without that. You can get it grilled. So it's healthy.
I can actually, hear myself getting fatter just listening to you guys
no.
talk about it.
I like to get it this way. I get a side of their mashed potatoes, and if I'm feeling really fatty, another side of their mac and cheese, and put both of them in between my chicken patty buns.
I need that. Look at you, an expert in KFC food. What else do we have in the news? I think you just orgasmed over there.
I did a little bit. It was a baby orgasm. I didn't come all the way.
What else do we have in the news?
Next in the news, UFOs crashing in China. Villagers shocked by a huge ball of fire.
UFOs strike. Now, was this seen by an actual source that's a reputable source?
It looks like a crazy war device from Star Wars. The pictures of it, it's pretty intense looking.
Is it amateur photos, or did someone actually take some real photos of this?
It looks like someone actually got a quality photo, honestly.
Oh, hello.
It doesn't look like a cell phone photo or anything like that.
Oh, it's an actual craft that
it's
was
an
found?
actual UFO, some sort of flying object.
Of something flying. Is any government of agencies saying what it is? Are they saying it's a weather balloon, or are they saying this is a UFO?
The object pictured in the story is reported to be about 2.5 feet wide, weighing nearly 90 pounds. Investigators arrived on the scene of the vegetable garden to examine the object. Stories began to emerge, offering a possible explanation for all the excitement. According to the official English language website of China News Service, just before Chinese village residents witnessed unidentified objects flying in the sky above them, a Russia Proton M rocket carrying a communication satellite experienced engine failure after its launch Friday.
We will take over the world.
This honestly, did you got a good look at it? It really doesn't look like anything that I've ever seen be attached to military craft.
We will start in China, because we hear they have small penises, and they're not very intimidating. That's where we will start our conquest, Greg. Will you join us, Alien Greg, as we take over China? We heard that they have small ammo. They are packing tiny Asian ammo. And we are not afraid of tiny Asian ammo. Are we, Alien Greg? No. That's nonsense. What else is in the news? Can we quit reading from the Star magazine and get some hard-hitting news now? Enough Inquirer news.
That was on Huffington Post.
Really? Huffington Post really scraping the bottom of the barrel, like me with that alien bit.
That's a matter of opinion. Things falling out of the sky that don't look like they were created by men is pretty important to me. All right.
What else do we have in the news?
Next in the news, I felt like I should do a little story for all the germaphobes out there. This will never, ever have you wanting to get into a hot tub ever again. So, we're all aware of hot tub rash and all that fun shit that you can get from going into a not well-maintained hot tub. Yes? All right. Yes. Well, while hot tub rash typically clears up on its own without treatment, another more serious condition to be aware of is the potentially fatal Legionnaire's disease.
Oh, what exactly is that?
That's when you start in a movie with Jean-Claude Van Damme and never have a career again.
doesn't. Oh God, that's great. So what exactly is it?
A type of pneumonia caused by a germ called Legionella, which is found in water, especially warm water, like in hot tubs.
Yeah.
And can be breathed in from the steam or mist surrounding a contaminated hot tub.
It can be breathed in?
Yeah.
It's air. That fucking shit's
it's
airborne?
not even only in your water, in the water because it has flagella. So it has moving legs on it to help it move around the water. And then it survives in the vaporous gas of steam.
It's like an alien virus.
So it can get into your pores, your skin, your orifice, and your lungs.
It is like an alien virus.
Well, that pretty much means you never go in a fucking hot tub again.
Well, see. Yeah, I've always had a problem with hot tubs. Like, they have these hot tub strip clubs. They have these they also open up a hot tub cinema. Have you read about that? There's a place, I think it's Oregon or LA, and they made a hot tub cinema where you go and you actually enjoy yourself in your personal hot tubs. I think it fits like 2 or 3 people, and you can watch a movie, eat popcorn, everything you could do, but you're in a hot tub. Like, first off, number one, I will not get in a hot tub. What are you showing them, Aisha? What is it? Is it part of the story?
It's a picture of Bane, a picture of Darth Vader. It says,
okay.
Party on Bane, party on Darth.
So stupid. All right, so anyways.
Yeah, well, that's why I didn't tell you. We have
It's
inside
kind of
jokes.
hard not to know when you're putting your computer up at Greg in the middle of a show.
Yeah, but I would have showed it to you if I wanted you to know.
I thought it was pertaining to the show, Aisha.
I show you things pertaining to the show.
So anyways, like, hot tubs just to me gross me out. Like, I will get in a hot tub if I know the person. I won't be as ish about it. But I'm not going to go to no public hot tub and sit in there. I mean, people think they can do all kinds of shit. I mean, they put the hot stream on their penis and they come quietly. Believe me, I've done it. And
getting that jet in your butthole a little bit.
I mean, people do. I mean, people have sex in there because, it's hot water and we're in pools and there's chlorine. That place is a breeding ground. I've said this for years.
It's a warm, bubbly cesspool of cess.
I mean, I would not want to watch a movie with, the people. You've seen the people that go to movies. I mean, I'm one of them. But some of those people, just disgusting looking, unclean people. You think they're going to take a bath before they go to see a movie in a hot tub? That's a miserable idea. Terrible. It's all fun and games until someone gets Lucretia disease. What's it called?
Legionnaires.
Oh. Yeah, it's not Lucretia disease. Okay, so what else?
That's when the disease comes up and kicks you so hard.
So stupid.
You feel like you're hit by Van Damme.
So dumb. Anyways, what else? Do we have any news? Anything else? We have time for one more, Aisha. One more really good topic. I want you to really, hit this one out the box.
Next in the news, 5 of your sex secrets learned from porn shop workers. Number 5, anal is big on Valentine's Day.
Really?
Yeah, so I guess Valentine's Day is the one day out of the year when a substantial amount of people buy more lube and anal sex shades.
It goes in, remember, mark your spot, Aisha, because I'm going to go on a little tangent here, but it reminds me of those, I feel sorry for guys that are in relationships like that where, hey, it's your birthday, guess what that means? You get head, or you get some fellatio, you're gonna get a blowjob because it's your birthday. What about the other 364 days? Like, it has to be my birthday, a special occasion blowjob.
Well, I can see anal.
No, I mean, well, okay. If hold on. If it was, I don't want anal every day, and if it's only in the repertoire or the arsenal only on special days, that's stupid as well. It should be open for discussion or open for play whenever the mood strikes. When you put rules and regulations in the bedroom, I feel sorry for those people. Movies push that agenda a lot in TV shows where guys get that special treatment on their birthday or on their Christmas. Oh, you're going to get lucky tonight because tonight's Christmas.
It's your birthday, boo, and I'm going to let you do whatever you want to do.
I just hate that. I mean, there shouldn't be, like, when you have to look forward to a day to get, anal play or
oh man, it's my birthday today. She said she's gonna swallow.
Dude, exactly. I had friends growing up like that, man.
It's my birthday. She finally gonna let me eat her out. It's my birthday. She finally gonna go down on me.
Oh man. Okay, what's number 2, Aisha?
Counting down from 5. So number 4 is yes. Jerk-off booths are still popular despite the internet.
Really?
So, yeah, surprisingly, there's still a lot of people using the private
I could see
video.
that.
It's probably going to be
displaying
that
rooms.
mystery that you're in someplace new and your
Yeah.
penis is all kind of like,
Oh yeah,
oh my
it's
God, we're in a
totally
new
the
place, we're not
excitement
the
of like
regular share. Holy
exhibitionism.
Yeah, it's the masturbation.
You know, you come faster when you have sex in public because you're more excited.
Right. And also it's the masturbation version of having sex with somebody new. Like, it's new and exciting. Like, what am I going to see? And
It can be even more exciting if you use your other hand.
Right. Or your mouth. So stupid.
Oh.
All right. What else? What's number 3?
Number 3, stores can totally sell illegal shit if they call it something else.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah, this specifically is them. The article describes it as like amyl nitrate, which is totally different. But almost all head shops and most sex shops will sell nitrous oxide
Really?
to you.
And
yeah,
what do you do with that?
it's laughing gas.
Oh, I thought that you put that in your car. Isn't that what Vin Diesel put in his car?
You can put NOS, yes, in your car to make it go faster because it's a highly flammable gas.
See, that's what I thought. First thing I thought was like Paul Walker and Vin Diesel. Yeah, man, I got some nitrous hooked up in the back.
No, that nitrous will take your head farther than it will take your car.
Really? So what's number 2?
Number 2 is on the next page. Da, 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 da. Number 2, people like to hang out at the sex shop and often bring their children along.
That's bizarre.
Yeah, I didn't, like, that's not, because every time I've ever been in one, you know, it's, like, maybe a couple other dudes that I'm trying not to make eye contact
Right.
with.
It's a little
And then,
uncomfortable.
like, the girl in there secretly buying her new dildo or
Yeah.
her first dildo.
Oh, I want to check it out. Like, dude, listen. Listen, ladies. I'm eyeballing you. If I'm in the same cashier's line as you at a sex store, and I am going to watch and analyze everything you buy. If you bought a 12-inch dildo, I'm loving it, and I'm like wondering why and where are you going to put that. Like, it's fun times. So, ladies, be afraid of creepsters like me watching what you buy because that's a whole other level. First off, it is. Let's just say this: it is an uncomfortable situation. It is, even though I'm open sexually, it is a little uncomfortable. Like, you're buying things, you know, and you may not want someone to see it. You know, like,
Yeah, but you just have to think of it like the chances of you ever seeing that person ever again in your life are slim to none. So what does
Right.
it matter?
That's true.
If you really have that much of a problem, buy online.
Yeah. What do we have it as number 1? Number 1 better be
Number
amazing.
1, it's kind of lame. The
Really?
underground sex scene is all around you.
I don't understand that.
What?
There's people like having fetish parties and doing fetishy
yeah.
things like everywhere that you wouldn't realize. Like half the gay bars in this town,
Yeah.
every other Friday have fetish nights,
Yeah.
and they have huge BDSM things going on where there's just a big room or multiple rooms full of people mostly naked, strapped to harnesses, whatever, bound up, getting whipped, candle
The gay
wax dropped
community
on
is
them.
fantastic. Like, when it comes to
Well,
sex,
no, it's not just the gay community.
I know,
I'm
but
just because I'm part of the BDSM crowd, so most of
Right.
our events are held at the gay clubs or Club Monarch.
you know what? The gay people are fantastic when it comes to sex. Like, if straight people handled sex the way gay people handled sex, I think people's relationships would be a hell of a lot better.
And people would be a lot happier and not lose their shit all the goddamn time.
Dude, it's true. God bless gay sex. God bless gay sex. On that note, we need to end the show. Aisha, thank you so much for your news topics. Greg, thank you for British Greg.
Yeah, I'll try to throw in a little more cannibalism next time.
Okay.
Oh, good.
And next week, I think. That's it. We're only doing one show this week. Once Supernatural The Crossroads wraps, we'll probably do 2 shows. But for right now, we're just doing one this week, and we'll see you next week. Same place. Later.
Safe travels.
Let's get the fuck out of this motherfucking hellhole!
Fellas, are you looking to spice things up in the bedroom? Been fantasizing about surprising your lover with an adventurous new toy or adult movie? Well, here's an offer you won't be able to resist. Go to adamandeve.com, and for a limited time only, you'll get 50% off just about any item. But that's not all. Oh no. When you select your one item at 50% off, you'll also receive 3 free adult DVDs for a little inspiration. Plus, a free extra gift so sensual, We can't mention it on the radio. And to top it all off, we'll even throw in free shipping on your entire order. And no, we're not teasing. So check out adamandeve.com today for this special offer. Get 50% off one item when you type DEAL30 for the offer code upon checkout. When you do, you'll get 3 free DVDs, a free extra gift, and free shipping. Just use offer code DEAL30 at adamandeve.com.
Hey, ass butt.
We have Kim Rhodes on the line from Supernatural, among many other things. All right, let's move from serious, and then we're going to let you go because I know we've kept you on longer than I said. So.
Oh no, that's okay. Daddy's putting the kid to bed. So I'm sitting on the roof, and I put the cat inside. So we take
on the
our
roof
time.
with the beer.
All right,
on the roof with the beer, talking about alcoholism. Woohoo!
All right, so let's play it. Do you mind? Let's play a little F, Marry, Kill. Okay, let's get a little childish here for a minute.
Okay.
Let's start with good guys first, okay? I'm very curious to find out. Okay, we're going to give you Sam. Let's say Jared. No, let's keep it in the character form.
Keep it
we got it. There's a big difference there. There's a big difference
I
between
know.
you giving me Sam and you giving me Jared. And are you giving Kim or are you giving Jody?
Let's go with Kim. I think it's going to be a lot
more
interesting.
more fun. Yeah, it's much more fun that way.
All right, so Kim. Okay, we're speaking to Kim now, so please focus on Kim.
Thank you. We're speaking. Can we call in the spirit?
Channel your inner Kim.
Kim, can you come forward?
Okay.
All right, so Jared Padalecki, Jensen Ackles, or Misha Collins. Who would you F, marry, kill? You have to choose.
Oh, I would marry Jensen. I would fuck the shit out of Misha, and I'd have to kill Jared just because he would be the most missed. Like I think the world would rise to support his loss. Like if he were killed, there would be a big fucking hole on this planet. He is an amazing human being. I think the fans would support his children and his wife.
She's really thought on this. I think you've dwelled on this question before.
Yeah, no, that's very funny. No, the answer I haven't, and the answer just came to me. Jensen is. I would like to marry him just because I'd like to sit silently on a sofa with him and know everything's okay.
Don't miss the all-new Supernatural fan show, The Crossroads. Available on Stitcher and iTunes. Search The Crossroads.